Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here at PowerModz this morning. It's cold. Snow is coming tomorrow, and that's a really good thing. You know, we're getting ready for the Toronto Snowmobile, ATV, and PowerSports show. I'm bringing my new RMK AXYS 800. It's just a beautiful looking machine. I just wanted to change it up a little bit. Players, don't get too mad at me, but I'm gonna put a wrap on here. I'm gonna put a PowerModz wrap on it. I love these graphics, but wait till you see what we have in store for you. Arctic FX Graphics.com has sent us a complete graphics kit for this. It's very reasonably priced. Now, when I say a complete kit, I mean the whole kit. This whole machine is going to be wrapped PowerModz style. It's going to be really cool. It all comes in this little box right here. And as you can see, we have laid everything out on the floor to get it, you know, nice and flat because it was sort of rolled up in the box. That's a lot of stickers. I don't think I've ever taken on that much or that many stickers at once in my life. It's going to be tricky, but I think we can do it. And if you just look at it, it just screams awesome. It screams PowerModz Army. Doesn't that look great? Those things go all the way from here to pretty much Michigan. So let's get that done. We're going to install everything. I've peeled some stickers off the far side, but first I want to show you what's in the kit. You've seen the stickers. Now check this out. It's a really well packaged kit. Very explicit instructions, very easy to read. Even I've gone over them and even I understand them, which is pretty amazing. And they do come with this little kit here. Now some of these kits you have to order, of course, because not everybody needs a kit. Some of you might have this stuff at home already and you don't need to buy it. But our kit came with it because I wanted it. It's got everything you need to remove your old stickers and to install the new stickers. One really cool thing about this, and I can't wait to try to put this on, is number one, these graphics, these stickers are 15 mil thick. They're super thick, I'm telling you. This is some pretty strong stuff. And they use the AFX exclusive Air Pass technology. So the adhesive in behind the sticker sort of has a crosshatch pattern, lets air slip out of it. You can just squeege it out, no bubbles. Isn't that a great thing? Makes my life a lot easier because, you know, this attention to detail kind of stuff that is required of me sometimes hurts my head a little bit. So the easier that people can make it, the better for me. So let's get this baby underway, or under wraps, if you will. It's gonna look good. All right, we're into this. Admittedly, I went to the other side. You can't see it, but I did a bunch of work over there already. I removed all the stickers, put some of the wrap on, just because, you know what, I wanted to go nice and smooth on this side so you guys get to see it. Now I'm gonna remove these stickers. Yes, you can use a heat gun, but if you don't need a lot of heat from the start, then just go with the hair dryer. These stickers come off really easy. Of course, these are the warning stickers. But let's just say that I've already read them, all right? And that's what you want to do right there. One thing that I did get into, I wanted to see what it was going to be like. This is where your VIN number is, your vehicle identification number. It's right here. You can barely see it. It is etched into the frame. There was a CMVSS sticker there. It's a bit of an agreement between Canada and the United States, CMVSS and the FMVSS. So we can sell them across border, no problem really, without any difficulties. And we both know that they meet the standards on either side of the border. So I took that sticker off, put it on the back of the gas tank here. They might not like that. Who knows? Maybe I'll even change out the gas tank. Maybe this won't go to the States. Who knows? There was also another sticker under there confirming the VIN number, and it had like a serial number, model number, all that kind of stuff. I just use this again, not a heat gun, just this hair dryer, peel it off. I put it in the back of the owner's manual. It's there, so I know all the numbers that I might need if I ever have to do something to this. There was an EPA sticker on here. I heated it up, took it off, and all these little void symbols came out. Yeah, blah, blah. EPA. Anyway, so I'll clean that up, continue to take these off. The wrap does cover those. It does cover your VIN number. I don't really care about that. All right, let's get the rest of these off. I'll start here. Now when you're installing this kit, you want to do it in a fairly warm area, 60 to 80 degrees. Not too hot, I guess. I don't know. I don't think you'd be doing it in too hot of an area. But you don't want to do it when it's too cold or the glue's not going to adhere very well. Later on, we'll come in with the heat gun and really make sure that everything is adhered very well. You don't want this coming off, right? There's a little bit of glue that comes off of some of these stickers. But that's okay, because this kit has the glue remover. Make sure when you do order your kit that it comes with it, unless you have something that you can use. You know, in the instruction manual, they do tell you substitutes that you can use if you need to. She looks so bare. Add this to the sticker ball. Wow. Yeah, so that's what it looks like, all naked. Okay, now I'm gonna go through. There are little bits of glue. I'm gonna use their glue remover, tidy that all up, and go through, and they have a cleaner as well. And I'm gonna go over everything, make sure it's all nice and clean before we put those stickers on. It's a nice wrap, boys, I'm telling you. I'm not lying, it's a nice wrap. Lots of glue. If you don't get all this stuff off, you will see bubbles and bumps in there. You don't want that. That's no good for anybody. Putting out some dollars on this wrap, you know, you want to make sure she's done right. Wraps are a thing of personal preference. You know, some guys have different styles. Some guys like the skulls and the witches and all that kind of stuff, and other guys like things a little more conservative. You can represent your manufacturer, the people that help you out. Oh, here, let's try to get this void sticker off. What a nightmare that was. Who would do that? Maybe the EPA. I don't want to talk about them. The ones that don't like our two-strokes. You don't like a two-stroke? We don't like it much. There. Now, there were some warning stickers on here. I did look at them. This side was in French. Didn't understand much, but I had my translator go over it. It was basically the same that was on the other side. So, a couple of things about backing up. Be careful backing up. Don't do it too fast. Don't cut your bars too short or too quickly, too sharply. That kind of stuff. I'm going to say that install time on this would be in the area of about 3 hours. If you had your buddy working with you steady, it'd be a good 3 hours. If you're really meticulous, maybe a little longer, you know. And y'all know I'm not that meticulous, but anybody can do this. You don't need a shop to install your wrap. And this is your own personal beast, you know what I mean? You want to get in there and do all this stuff yourself. Looks so good. I spoke with the fellas at Arctic FX, and they can pretty much design anything you want. You have a certain taste, they can go in and work with you to make your dreams come true with a wrap. It's all about that creativity end of things. I'm not that creative in the artsy sense. I like to play with my video stuff, but you know, designing wraps is outside of my field of speciality, if you know what I'm saying. Now this was a reflective sticker down here, and whatever kind of glue they use on here is pretty serious. It's a serious glue. It's a little tougher to come off. But it does have to come off because there's a sticker that goes over top of that. And we have to remove that rear reflector. You don't have to wrap the whole sled. You can only do parts of it. If you talk to them, they can do whatever it is you want. You know, if you want to leave your reflectors or this little gizmo here, you probably could. Arctic FX No Silicone Pre-Cleaner Surface Prep. Cleans and eliminates wax, oils, and silicones in seconds, and that's what you want. You want it to dry quickly. I mean, honestly, when they start doing these little kits for you, it's a good idea because, you know, you think you're saving money grabbing all this stuff yourself, running all over the city looking for chemicals of some sorts. Easy peasy, boys. Just order the kits. Now, there has been a couple of days in between us doing the other side of this sled and doing this here now. So I'm redoing everything because the dust will get on it and settle. Who knows what else is in this old bunker. So it's all dirty. I want it nice and clean. Now there is another application kind of fluid for maybe another style of wrap he has, or an older style, I have no idea. But this goes on dry, this wrap. You don't need to wet it and then move the decal around, the decal or sticker, wrap, whatever you want to call it. You don't do that with this one. This one goes on dry, but it's pretty easy to move around if you need to. This way, when you're going over it, you can also see if you've missed any glue anywhere. Now you look at all these stickers and you think maybe this is going to be a little overwhelming, but it's not at all. Everything is laid out on these big long sheets, very easy to unstick or unpeel. And there's this great little diagram here where everything goes. R for right side, L for left side, H for hood. Easy peasy. Thank God for that. Honestly, my brain wouldn't be able to figure that one out. Okay. I'm just gonna clean these off so we don't get any dust. They have been sitting on the floor, flattening out. I'm gonna do the back of this tunnel first because it looks good. And yeah, I gotta do that. It's gonna look great. I think I'm probably gonna start with this one right here. I don't know why. Something just tells me this one is the one to do. Try not to touch the very tip of it. You'll potentially remove a little bit of the glue, and you don't want to do that. Or get it sticky. And again, you don't want to do that. I'm just looking at where that hole is. That over the edge. If you start by putting it down just a little bit at a time, that's going to do it. Technically, you're supposed to work from the center out. I'm just keeping, oops, the very edge of this right along the edge of this seam. Well, I've got to lift that seat. That's easy enough to do. And do that. And that is 10 mil. Okay, so don't forget that this seat has to come up. And that's good. The less things you really have to go around, the better. If you can just remove something and go under it and then bolt it back down, it's going to look a lot better. These wraps do a bunch of different things. You know, they protect your machine, keep the scratches off it. They personalize it. You know, you see something out there that you really like. You might not be into the factory kind of thing. You might not want to look like everybody else out there with the same kind of sled. You know, on my other machines, I've noticed that especially on the back here, really helps keep the snow off it. Keeping the snow off is a good thing. Lowers the weight of your sled, right? That snow and ice starts to build up. There. Perfect. And you get to show your sponsors some love. Hey guys, look at this. Your logo's all over my machine, man. Hey, look at that. Just shed 4 pounds. There. These are pretty cool. This whole Polaris kind of system for mounting things, you just drop them in, move it, bolt it down. Works really well. We'll get into that at another date. With some pretty cool applicators. First thing I'm going to do is just use this felty one here. There is one that's more rigid. I'll come back and I'll use it as well. It's curved if you need a curved area. But you can see around this rivet here, it's going to pop up. That's where we need our heat, definitely. I left a little ridge in it so I can squeeze the air out the side. The air's got to go somewhere. There. That's one part of it. I'm telling you fellas, this is looking amazing. It looks like I got a little ridge cap here. Whenever you're laying something like this down, try to get it in the middle, but you also have to line up your previous sticker with it, right? This is like a ridge cap right here. I want to make this the same, equidistant, if you will. See, now I have one eye that's kind of goofy. I'm not going to lie. It does throw off my calculations sometimes. I just have to live with it. There, so this is up on that ridge. I call it the ridge cap. That's what it is. Almost like I take my thumb, sort of start to get it flattened. And it just comes along. That works too. The key is to not just hammer this into place right off the bat, boys. If you start it off in the wrong direction, you will not have the ability to fix it if you just hammer it in there too hard. Oh, that looks good. The thing I like about this machine is that there aren't a whole lot of real compound curves though. I mean, this is a little trickier, but there's nothing really to this. It's got a lot of flat surfaces. Isn't that better for evading radar? I don't know, I forget how that works. What a sweetheart. Look at this. Yeah, these are definitely going to require heat along here to adhere this. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to come back through and I'm going to nail everything with the heat gun, not the hair dryer. I really want to make sure that this is adhered. I already started the fuel tank as well. Let's take a look at that. After I did the other side, I had the seat on it. This is definitely the way to do it. It takes, well, you saw about 30 seconds to take the seat off. Take that seat off makes the installation a whole lot easier. Now when it comes to something like this fuel tank, I don't know, you'd call it mottled. You see that textured little design there in the fuel tank. It's not smooth. That you really have to go over with the heat gun and nail that. You want to make sure that you really settle the adhesive down into it, or you will run into issues for sure. Don't you get up in that. Now see, there's a big ridge in here, or lip. So I'm working my way into it. Where's that? Using this right here. There we go. Same for this back piece. You can see he's got it cut out. I'm just going to leave that for a second. Oops. This is kind of the way they tell you to do it in the instruction manual. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll come across the top. I'll work my way down. That's Simon's idea, and it's a good one. There. Yeah, it's the air pass technology. I guess they're the only guys that use it, the FX, Arctic FX. That glue is kind of cross-hatched. Allows the air to squeeze out real easily. Ooh. You'll watch when we hit this with the heat, it'll take on a little bit of this dimpled or mottled form. Doesn't look bad, but we know it's going to stick. Looks good. Let's do the hood. So the side's the toughest one. It's tricky. So I'm going to do everything else. That way you kind of get boned up and all practiced up on installation. Then you come in, you do the hardest one last. That's me. That's just me. I'm sort of fast forwarding this a little bit here and there, boys, because I don't want to bore you to death with my tales of old. I remember when we used to wrap sleds with STP stickers and anything we could find. Wonder Bread. I don't know if that's right. No. See how I sort of just peeled that off because I knew I did it wrong. This is how I'm going to start this one. I see a better place to do it. They sort of tell you to squeeze about an inch at a time. Hopefully I sort of got that right, and I did, by the looks of it. Now this sled's going to be unleashed at the Toronto Snowmobile ATV PowerSports show in just a few days. When this video comes out, it'll be a little bit after the show, because we don't want to ruin the surprise. Everybody wants to come and see the new RMK, and it's going to look a little different than I think what they expect, because we're all up for surprises. That'll come out with a bit of heat, but oh, there we go. Oh. I know you're sitting back there and you're thinking, I don't know if Louie's going to get this one. I don't think he can eyeball this. Yeah, well, I nailed it. Come on, boys. Well, maybe not. This little part here is a little tricky. Actually, you know what? Heat is your friend. I've learned that on a few different wraps. If you do have some imperfections, you heat her up, squish it down, things sort of move a little bit. Oh, boys, heat will fix that. I'm going to show you. I'm not lying. Sometimes after you've installed it, you think you've got all these spots filled in. If you just take your little gizmos that they send with the kit here, you'll find that you didn't get it. So you need to come back and nail them again. A little bit of air in there. There we go. Well, that air does squeeze out of there really nicely. Yeah, line up all, these lines continue along. You want to make sure that those are lined up. If they're not lined up and they're off just a little bit, you know, your eye will tell you something's just not quite right about that. Yeah, sit back. Somebody say, oh, there's something wrong. Don't know what it is, but there's something wrong with that sled. That's no good. A lot of people judge. Welcome. Now, if I'd used maybe too hard of a plastic on that and tried to squeeze it, it might have pulled it a little bit because it was warm, but I just sort of squished it down a little bit at a time. Baby steps. Oh my God. Okay. Now this is easier with another set of hands sometimes. Yeah. Like that. It just so happens I have another set of hands right here. These little cutouts, little rivet holes are all in here. And he's gone ahead, pre-cut these. You can pop them out. You can actually pre-insert these into the holes. And I recommend doing that. If you try to do that later on, it's going to be tricky. There we go. Just looking straight at it all the way around, everything looks more or less at about the same position. You know what? Where's my felt one? Right there. You know what I'm going to do? I see this rivet right here. If I push this all the way around and tighten it up, it has no place for the air to escape. I don't know if you can see that on there. I'm just going to leave that open until I heat it up. When I heat it up, I'll squeege it in all the way around and then I'll close that little opening. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's a patent pending PowerModz move right there. All you boys in the industry, you can use it. Okay, I'm sure I'm not the first person to do that, but. Oh, there's another one there. There. Just when you think it couldn't get any better looking, it does. Okay. Brian is a genius. I sent him the picture of this sled. You know, he knew what it was anyway. It's the orange RMK 800 AXYS. I'd like it to look really cool. That PowerModz kind of style. But I'm at a loss for anything creative on it. And then he said, oh, give me a day. And then something really close to this came in. And we just made a few changes, and that's it. He nailed it. He does all the cool wraps. Well, I mean, I've seen his wraps forever, but when we were at Boondocker in Idaho, we were shooting with them, that Razor build, all their wraps, all Boondockers wraps are done by Arctic FX. If you look at Chris Barant's sleds, they're all done by Arctic FX, and the list goes on. PowerModz sleds, Arctic FX. I've used a bunch of different companies, but like I said, my moods change. But he nailed it with this one. He did. It's a lot of orange to deal with. Made it work. Imagine having to try to make this wrap. All these little sections and parts and pieces. I don't know where they even begin doing this. Maybe somebody there out in the YouTube land knows. Man, oh man, I have no idea. You have to go in there and make templates of everything. It's crazy. So I don't complain about the price. Those guys put a lot of work and a lot of time into these. And every few years, all these designs change. Then there's a new model, new colors. They change something a little bit. Well, this machine has changed quite a bit over the last few years. Can't be fun. And they must have to really try to get in there with the manufacturers to get one of these things before everybody else does, so they can get the template. I want this to be perfect. As perfect as I can get it. There's so much I could do. You know, looking at this, I should have put this bottom piece on first so I could line all those up all the way. See that? Oh my God, you guys get to learn from my mistakes. Okay. Now this is where that reflective sticker was. This has to go tucked up underneath there. You know, there are several kind of surfaces on here, 3 different planes, if you will. I'm sort of starting on the one that I have easiest access to, keeping all these parts of it up. You can see my fingers on it. One of these, working my way to the edge, squeeging my way down. I'm going to tuck it right in there as best you can. Otherwise, if you just lay it across, get a big air bubble trapped in there and it'll look heinous. Heinous, the word for the day. PowerModz word for the day is heinous. There you go. There you go, you beautiful thing. Look at that. Hey, did I tell you guys? Keely bought a sled. He did. He bought a new sled, a brand new one. He got an SKS. How cool is that? It'll be good for around here. I wanted this one because I wanted to try it out. One thing that I have noticed is that you can make some little mistakes. It is allowed. They do sort of seem to fix themselves. It's, the wrap, it seems to be forgiving. I think we're going to have to get Keely a nice wrap for his sled too. Maybe we'll surprise him. I did tell them that I still wanted the Polaris logos on here, that I wanted the name of the sled, and that I wanted to advertise PowerModz. And that's what he did. He made it just perfect. Ooh, that's one piece. I'm pulling on that too hard. Got to go around the Polaris sign, Polaris symbol. I could have time-lapsed this, but you know what? Everybody does the old time-lapse. Forget it. We'll just do bits by bits. Talk about some stuff. Tell some lies like in the olden days. Sleds have come so far, man. I mean, sleds were, there was a period of time where sledding just wasn't fun anymore. I shouldn't really say that, but just, it felt like things needed to be different. That the technology just wasn't there to, you know, people were getting tired of sore backs and, you know, just uncomfortable rides. Man, oh man. And then everything started to change again and things started to get better. And now we're into this. You know, the R&D was put into this stuff. Well, a lot of R&D is done by the riders, by the public, with feedback here and there. But things have come a long way. Backs don't hurt as much as they used to. This sort of looks like it pops up and it won't stay there, but it will as soon as the heat's added. Just pops right over, just like this. You already did that. Just wraps right around there and looks really nice. Motori. Motorfist. Representing. All right. Holy. We're not quite done because we need to heat everything up. But if you don't mind, I'd really like to just take a look at it. Whoa. Wow. There are some, you know, there's a wrap for this windshield, but I think that that looks really good. I don't know, it just gives it that Megatron kind of look. Megatron, was he the good one?
No, he was the bad one.
He was the bad one. Who's the good one? Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
I think it still looks like I think it still looks like Megatron. I think it looks good. Yeah. Wow. Okay, well now we just gotta heat them up. Adhere all those stickers. Here, I'll show everybody what I'm talking about. Now this one offers a bit more heat. Don't touch this. There's no fuel in this tank. If you hold it too close, you're gonna melt something. You can start things on fire. Never leave these plugged in because sometimes they just get flipped on and they burn houses down. This is what I wanted to show you about the fuel tank. I'm gonna wait till this gets nice and warm. You can see it's all shiny there. Don't hold it in one place for too long. You can see it really contour to it. That's what you want. You want that glue to really adhere to that. Your pants are nailing on there a lot, and I wear knee pads and I'm gonna be banging off it. Now, I've gotta go through and do this whole darn thing. That's okay. It's fun. It's magical. I tell you right now. Is that the nicest sled to come out of the PowerModz headquarters? Nicer than the IQR 800 mountain mod? Is that possible? I don't know. It's hard to compare all these things, but this looks really good. Looks real good. Give her a final cleanup. We're gonna load this up tomorrow. We're gonna go to the big show in Toronto, the Toronto Snowmobile ATV and PowerSports show. We're gonna unveil this, because a sled like this needs to be unveiled. It looks so darn good. I really have to thank everybody at Arctic FX for their wicked product, their creativity, the ability to come up with these ideas. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have figured this one out. They did a great job. That's it. Now we just have to put some fuel in this, start it up. We're out for the season. I gotta thank you guys for coming as usual. Make sure you give us a big old thumbs up if you like my videos. Subscribe if you haven't already. Some cool giveaways coming up. We're gonna throw a whole bunch of swag away at the show in Toronto. And even more fun things coming up, believe it or not. I might make some changes to this. Not quite sure yet, but I think you're gonna be pretty happy with what I'm gonna do. Thanks for watching. Wow, look at that.
Face down, this is the story of the end. I don't need you to come.